This is section 10, letter F. There are 6 dreams about flooding. The first number in this segment is the number 1. This piece is called section 10, one flooding / volcano / ocean dream. In the month of January 29, 2010, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. Today I dreamt that I stood in the middle of 2 black men. The black men and I were nearly immersed in water. The water almost came up to our necks. These 2 black men held a bottle of beer in their hands. It was daytime and the sky above me was slightly gray. I sensed no panic in the air. I only sensed no real fear in the air as well. I just sensed a feeling of acceptance all around me, as if the 2 men in my presence had accepted their fate, which might involve drowning to death. I seen the black man behind me preparing to drop his, I saw one black man behind me preparing to drop his empty bottle of beer in the water around him. And then I seen the other black guy in front of me throw his empty bottle of water into the water as well. These men around me were big and kind of like burly in their appearance. Also, these individuals were on long sleeve shirts or a thin jacket. Then the next thing I seen in this dream was a very tall volcano, which was upon a dark island, or was dark in the background. This volcano I seen in my dream was more like a snapshot of a volcano. This snapshot, I believe, of a volcano that just exploded. I seen still shots of lava flowing down the volcano side. I also seen still shots of lava that was exploded into the air by the volcano. There were also on the ground, and on the volcano lava was on the ground and in the sky around the volcano. And like I said, the background was very dark. Then I heard people behind me say, "This volcano incident almost never happens." And then they next, I think. And then the next thing I seen in this dream was an ocean of water, more or less calmly floating around. And then I woke up from this dream. Anyhow, I have a drawing, 3 drawings of this particular dream. Okay, the first drawing of this dream, as you see here, this person is me in the middle. And like I said, I stood in the middle of 2, kind of burly, heavy-set men, in my interpretation of what they looked like. And like I said, they had beer in their hand. This guy with beer there, and the guy threw his beer down. And like I said, the water almost came up to their neck. And I sensed no fear or panic, but the people, the 2 men, more or less accepted their fate, which I believe, like I said, may include drowning. And the second drawing, like I said, I believe this was a snapshot of a volcano. And this snapshot, I believe, was posted on TV news or on the internet. And this is what I see. Okay, the volcano, lava, snapshot of lava flowing down. In the background was very dark. Snapshot of the volcano spewing out this lava. And like I said, I heard people mention that this thing never really ever happened. Talking about this particular volcano. And the last thing I seen inside this dream was I was watching a body of water, this moving back and forth. This body of water could be water that immersed itself over a city or a borough. Okay, the next number in this piece is the number 2. This piece is called section 10, 2 flooding dream, or S10, 2FLD. in the month of April 9th, 2010, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. Today I dreamt that one of the first things I see in this dream was that I found myself inside a factory, I believe. And I was watching a heavy-set white man. He walked ahead of me, and he was bald on the top. And like I said, I felt as if I was in this factory, and I didn't feel comfortable inside this factory. So I exited the factory, and in front of the factory, outside, I seen white men on motorcycle bikes, and I didn't feel comfortable outside of the factory either. So the next thing I noticed about this dream that I found myself in a middle of a project complex, and I seen young black men in a park on my left, and they wore white tank tops or white t-shirts, and I noticed I was more or less in a playground of this project complex. And then I said to myself, wow, I jumped out out of the pan into the fire. And I kind of sensed that if those young guys put their attention on me, it would have been a bad situation for me inside this project complex. So I decided to leave this area of the project complex. Next, I see myself inside a small store that sold clothing and fruits, and I seen appeared to me foreign black people inside this small little store that was selling, like I said, fruits and clothing. And the foreign blacks, I believe, they looked West Indian to me. Then I seen a tall, I believe, white man walking around with a lamp, a tall lamp in his arm. It had a bulb in it, and I think he was preparing to, take this lamp and plug it in somewhere on this floor of this store. And then after 2 miles off the man with the lamp, I believe the store owner, she was a female, a heavy-set white woman, going up some steps in the back part of the store. So I felt led to follow her. And so I go to the back part of the room, and I see some stairs, but I didn't see the heavy-set white lady that I interpreted as being the owner of this little small store. And but what I did see was a small chihuahua, a small female chihuahua going up the steps. And I found myself now in the room, I believe, of the daughter of the lady owner of the store. And this room was very bright, and it was very nice inside. And a girl voice told me that I could take as what I needed from this room. So I looked around, and I seen things that I felt I could use. So I took some pairs of socks and this and that. Then the young girl told me, well, not to take everything. So I put back half of the things that I was freely given. Then the next thing I noticed that I looked out the window, and I heard like maybe 100 people screaming. And I noticed that while I looked out the window, I see low-level homes, like one-story homes, like bungalows or whatever. And these homes were all in unison, collapsing all at once. And then the next thing I seen in the stream was that now I was facing one of the first floor homes, and this was a brick home. And then I noticed that this brick home was more or less by the beach, and it was the sky became kind of cloudy and somewhat dark. And I seen maybe 100 feet from this brick house that's in front of me, a one-story brick house that was in front of me, I seen a huge tidal wave of water coming over more or less a boardwalk in that area, and I seen lines of palm trees that was on the boardwalk, and in the background of the palm trees was a huge tidal wave of water. Then I noticed that this brick home was more or less by the beach, and it was the sky and somewhat dark. And I seen in maybe 100 feet from this brick house that's in front of me, a one-story brick house that was in front of me, I seen a huge tidal wave of water coming over more or less a boardwalk in that area, and I seen lines of palm trees that was on the boardwalk, and in the background of the palm trees was a huge tidal wave of water. And then the next thing in the stream, I see some of the tidal wave or tsunami crash upon the great house, one-story house that was before me, and I seen things in the ocean, in the tsunami that crashed upon the house. I seen like starfish and other things that lives in the ocean. And then the next thing I recall was that now I was back in the project, and I seen a police officer. He wore a dark blue uniform, and he was more or less interacting with a heavy-set black man who wore a white t-shirt. And anyhow, after noticing the cop and the black guy, way in the distance, I seen a humongous tidal wave, a tsunami of water, more or less taller than the tsunami waves I seen that crashed upon the first story brick house that I seen. This tsunami I seen in the foreground, it was like taller than a project complex I saw way in the distance. And the black man that stood beside the police officer was fumbling in his pocket. I sensed that the black guy was looking for his set of keys so he can run back inside his project apartment. And then the last thing that took place in this dream was that I was in a hallway of one of these projects, and I noticed there was a black man in front of me and two black women in front of me, and the individuals that were in front of me were more or less immersed in water. The tidal wave that came into the project complex flooded up the project lobby, and one out of the two black females was shorter than the other black lady, and the shorter black woman held the hand of the tall black woman, while the black man had his back facing me, and the short black lady had her fingers up, and I interpreted that the short black lady was letting the tall black lady know that on the count of three, 1, 2, 3, let's just open up our mouth and just let the water come into our lungs and drown us. And I kind of picked up that, the two women and the black man knew that their fate was sealed, that there was no way to escape being immersed under an ocean of water. And it was a sad situation. So when I woke up from this dream, I actually woke up coughing as if I drowned in this dream. Anyhow, I have several drawings that I made about this dream. Okay, so let me have quite a few. Okay, in this drawing here, like I said, I've gone into a room, I believe, of the daughter of the lady owner, and it was very bright inside this room. And, and then I heard screams, and then I seen the buildings outside all collapse all together. And as you see, it was very nice outside, it was very sunny out. Okay, now the second thing I see, which I've drawn, was that I stood in front of a one-story brick home, I believe, and like I said, I seen rows of palm trees, and over the palm trees was a huge tidal wave of water. In this dream, I sensed I was in maybe the east coast of the United States. This could be Florida, or it could even be somewhere in other parts of, in the east coast of the United States. or it could be here, in Coney Island, Brooklyn, New York. Okay, so here's a tidal wave of water, and then I seen some of the tidal wave of water splash upon this first story brick house, and as you see, there's things in the ocean that came with it. And I had gone back into the project, and the reason why since this is like in the East Coast, because the projects here in the East Coast are very tall, and there are many projects here, more or less in New York City. The biggest projects, I think, in the world or in the United States are the Queens Borough projects. Well, anyhow, like I said, I seen the cop interacting with this guy, this black guy, and in the distance was a huge tidal wave of water. As you see, the guy's fumbling in his pockets. I sensed, like I said, he was trying to find his keys to go back into his apartment building. And you see the cop here was caught off guard. What the cop was doing in the projects, your guess is as good as mine. Okay? And lastly, the last thing I seen in this dream were the 3 people immersed in water. And like I said, there was a man and his back was facing me. There's 2 women. This is in the project lobby, ground floor. And the water flooded this ground floor. As you see, the girl right here saying count to 3. And when she counted 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, I sensed, like I said, they open up their mouths and nostril, and let the water come in and drown them. And like I stated, when I woke up from this room, I was choking as if, I drowned with them. Okay, the next number in this segment is the number 3. This piece is called Section 10, 3 Flooding Dream, or S10, 3FLD. In the month of August 19, 2010, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. Today I dreamt that I was in a store with black people, and the store that I was in was closed, and I noticed the black owner had his store metal shield more or less partially closed in front of the store. I didn't feel comfortable in this closed store or nearly closed store with these strangers, so I insisted the owner of the store to let me out, but the other people that were in the store with me did not want me to leave the store. But nevertheless, I must have, really convinced the owner to let me out of the store. So the owner walked me towards the front, and as I was walking towards the front of the store, I looked down and I seen maybe an inch of water pouring into the store. And then the owner opened up the metal hood of the store, and I exit the store. Then I noticed that the sky was gray out, and there was some water still on the ground. And strangely enough, while I stood there, I held a little car-like object. It was like a toy. Anyhow, this is what this object looked like in my hand. It looks like this. I don't know what I was holding, but this is what it looked like. Okay, so after I took notice what was in my hand, I seen a parking lot, a garage, the houses, that park cars. So I go into the parking lot, and while I was going down into the parking lot, I seen an office, more or less close to the ramp of the parking lot. And I noticed 3 black guys were in there hiding, but they didn't notice me. More or less, I didn't go deep down into the parking lot. More or less, I just stood there. So I go into the parking lot, and while I was going down into the parking lot, I seen an office, more or less close to the ramp of the parking lot. And were in there hiding, but they didn't notice me. More or less, I didn't go deep down into the parking lot. More or less, I just stood there, more or less against the wall. And then I noticed a white guy coming into this parking lot, and he had blonde hair, and he wore a white tank top as well. And he was looking around. He looked left, he looked right to see if it was safe for him to go in the parking lot. But he didn't notice 3 guys that was hiding out in the parking lot office. So I wanted to say something to the white guy, not to go down to the parking lot, but I always kept my mouth shut. And so the white guy walked further into the parking lot, deeper down to the parking lot. And I seen the black guys come out the office, and I believe they followed the white guy deeper down into the parking lot. And then the next thing I noticed in the screen, that I seen water pouring in, and it was hitting more or less a levee, I think. And I heard maybe a news report saying that the water is coming in 25, been pouring in for 25 minutes, and within 25 minutes, the water rose to 25 feet. And then lastly, I see somebody that I knew, someone from my immediate family. She was in this small rafter with her male friend, and I also noticed, I think I thrown an inflatable rafter into the water as well, so I could climb into the rafter. And I woke up from this dream. So let me show, I have 2 drawings of this particular dream. Okay. In this dream here, I don't know, I think I was at a boardwalk. Anyhow, I believe this is a levee, I see. And the water is pouring and splashing up against the levee. And like I said, I heard people saying within 25 minutes, the water has risen to 25 feet. And the last thing I witnessed inside this dream was someone from my immediate family on a raft, inflatable rafter, with a male friend, and I thrown this inflatable rafter into the water, and this is like buildings in the back, so the water is coming in 25 feet or more at this time, and you know, the only way to survive or to ride this out is to have your own inflatable rafter with you. The next number in this piece is the number 4. This piece is called Section 4, 4 Flood Dream, or S10-4FLD. In the month of October 14, 2010, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. In this dream, I dreamt I was here at Halsey Street, and I was in the back room of this house. And I was with my wife, and I noticed someone else from my immediate family was not in the back room. And I sensed a lot of erratic things were going on outside. And so my wife and I, it kind of felt like we were trying to take catch up on our breaths. So I more or less sat down in the back room and trying to catch my breath. And then I noticed it was kind of gray out. And it was like a chill in the air. And so I left the back room to approach the front part of the house. So when I left the back room, there's another room. Before I go into the back room, there's like a kid's room. And as I continued to walk, I kind of seen on my peripheral vision, I believe, water rising up to the second floor where I'm at right now. Water or snow or ice or whatever. And so I continued to walk towards the front of the house, and I faded out from this dream. The next number in this piece is the number 5. This piece is called Section 5, 5 Flooding Dream, or S10-5FLD. In the month of November 28, 2010, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. Today, I dreamt that I was in East New York, Brooklyn, somewhere around Cozine Avenue and Asher Street. And I was with my friend. and we were in a car, and my mother was driving, and she was driving, and she parked the car, and then we gone into a house, but I stayed outside. My friend and mother going into a house, and then I felt inspired to tell people about a coming flood. So more or less, I stood in the streets. It was daytime. And I was more or less telling people to repent of your sins. Repent of your sins because a flood is coming. And this flood is going to kill hundreds of thousands. So before I left this particular dream, I mentioned something about Venus. Kind of like Venus has something to do with the flooding that was on its way here in Brooklyn, New York. Okay, the next and last number in this piece is the number 6. This piece is called Section 10, 6 Flooding Dream. But I'm going to give this particular dream a subtitle, which is Flood/Processing. Okay, the first thing in this dream I noticed that I was, I think, in a home I didn't recognize. And I seen a white van outside of this home. It was nighttime. And I seen a black man that had a sheriff's star on his chest. And I didn't feel comfortable after I seen the black guy in the van. So the next thing I found was, next thing that took place in this dream, I was at Ashley Street again. I was with my father and mother, and we were in a bedroom on the top floor. Then I looked out the window, and I seen more or less the same van outside in front of the house. And this time around, I seen another van too emerge, and I seen military men or maybe SWAT team coming out the back of these 2 vans, and they dressed in all black. They had black helmets, they had a black uniform, and they was holding black rifles. Then they came into the house I was in, and I became afraid. And I noticed some of them came upstairs to the 3rd floor where my father and mother was at, and they bypassed the bedroom I was in, and they gone to another room to capture someone else. So my mother was telling these people, you have the right to come in this house. And I was really afraid because I thought they was also going to come for me. So I left this dream, and then I found myself on a line with people. And I noticed there was a white man in front of me. And this room was like more or less a processing room. And we were told to take our hands so a little thin needle could go in between our hand and imprint, something in our hand. And after my hand was being imprinted, we was told to go further in the back of this room. And so while I got this little thing imprinted in my hand, we was told to go in the back. So we were going in the back, and we were still on the line, and I noticed seeing a big white guy in this room, and there was a glass there, and there was a nurse attending to him. I think she was sticking something in his arm. So while I was standing there, I was saying to myself, wait a second, did I just take the mark of the beast? I hope I didn't take the mark of the beast, because I sensed everyone had to take this needle thing that we'll put between our fingers here, and it was like as if we were told that if we take this, there will be some type of law and order that will happen right after multitudes of people take this small device or chip that will be put in our hands. And then after the processing, I noticed that I was in this project area, and it was daytime, and there were women seated in this project area, and I noticed I seen some kids walking out of a plane. I found myself on a line with people, and I noticed there was a white man in front of me. And this room was like more or less a processing room, and we were told to take our hands so a little thin needle could go in between our hand and imprint, something in our hand. And after my hand was being imprinted, we was told to go further in the back of this room. And so while I got this little thing imprinted in my hand, we was told to go in the back. So we were going in the back, and we were still on the line. And I noticed, seeing a big white guy in this room, and there was a glass there, and there was a nurse attending to him. I think she was sticking something in his arm. So while I was standing there, I was saying to myself, wait a second, did I just take the mark of the beast? I hope I didn't take the mark of the beast, because I sense everyone had to take this needle thing that we'll put between our fingers here, and it was like as if we were told that if we take this, there will be some type of law and order that will happen right after multitudes of people take this small device or chip that will be put in our hands. And then after the processing, I noticed that I was in this project area, and it was daytime, and there were women seated in this project area, and I seen some kids walking out of a playground, and they going to the edge of the water, going to the edge of their project complex, and I seen that water was coming in, and way in the horizon I seen like maybe the Atlantic Ocean, but the water is more or less coming into this project complex, and I woke up from this dream. Okay, the next letter in Parrish, Future Prophecy 5, is the letter H.